All right, so I'm going to out myself again. I don't like reading, if anybody is not aware. And even growing up, I hated it even more. My mom is an English teacher, so that did not go very well in my household. But if she did get me to read, she got me to read by one specific type of book, which was the choose-your-own-adventure books. The ones you read only 3 or 4 pages, and then you have to make a choice. Do I dive out of the window, or do I go out the front door? And that determined whether you moved on to see the rest of the story. I bring that up because I believe that's where we're at. We're at a stage now where we are in one of the most significant developments within recent history within our industry, and we need to start making choices. And this is driven by one of the biggest impacts our industry has seen in years: the phasing out of cookies. This change has really left marketers, tech providers, and the industry literally feeling as if the fabric is unraveling across the digital internet. It is literally the convergence of these changes that our industry now has to then add on top of that the tech challenges that we are all facing, the privacy and the regulation hurdles that we all have to account for globally like we've never seen before. And it really, at the base of it all, the real reason is the pissed off consumers around the exploitation and use of their data. And they want it back. But the truth is, cookies gave us that quick hit that we considered an insight into their behavior. It got us addicted to the ease of what we wanted in that moment, to get what we wanted from them. And what it did is it dulled our creativity. It dulled our sensitivity to those consumers and what they need, what they're actually feeling, and what they're actually doing. And to be clear, the data that we're using and that we're still seeing isn't working the way that it needs to. Around 70% of us, Redpoint says, see an irrelevant ad at least once a month. And that's very conservative. I argue it's daily, probably most of you as well. And so our approach to paying attention, leveraging cookies, has left us to look at each and every one of you, myself included, as binary, as two-dimensional, as a paper doll. And we have become addicted to thinking that that's the way we are going to win, and that is the way that the future is going to go. The gender, how much you make, your browsing history, what you've purchased. We've used those to build a foundation that is crumbling around us. Those signals are losing their power, whether you like that or not. And as humans, we can no longer look at ourselves as binary. That is not our reality. And if any of you know a Gen Zer, just ask them. And so as an industry, we become way too focused on two-dimensional signals that cookies have provided. And it has created a mismatch between brands and consumers. And that has heightened disloyalty. And I'm obsessed with this slide because I'm obsessed with Clueless. So if you are not familiar with the mismatch on that, that is where that is from in the movie. And I am still striving to get a closet that will do that for me. But I will say that that's evidenced by the data that we see as well. Gen Z is especially not loyal to brands. 60% less loyal, actually, since before the pandemic. And just 1 in 3 consumers in the US overall, not loyal. The cookie conversation has distracted us from confronting this mismatch problem for 20 years. It's time we enter a new phase. It's time we look beyond and say goodbye to the past of identity, that era of leveraging this paradigm of binary look and feel of who we are, this placing us and putting us as cardboard paper dolls, and start to really invest in wanting to understand who we are as humans. So let's say goodbye to that era. And I really, really welcome you to the mindset era. This is the exciting era that we are in and entering, and we need to prioritize as the way that we will stay connected. This era leaves behind those reductive categories like gender, age, and income level. And it helps us truly commit to matching and meeting our consumers in the moment by understanding the mindset of what our consumers are going through. So what does that mean? It means we need to focus on our multidimensionality. I look at this as probably what's in my brain half the time because I'm a crazy person. And I then associate this and I tie this back to whatever has happened in my last 4 weeks. So if you know, I'm 47, identify as a male, a CEO, do well, have a background in finance, but also over the last 4 weeks, was obsessed with Coachella, love festivals, looked for all my outfits. I'm done with that now. I'm right now planning a fishing trip in Wisconsin off the Mississippi with my father-in-law, where we'd literally be on a canoe in the middle of nowhere, which I am absolutely obsessed with and love. I'm also trying to really scramble to make sure I got everything on my wish list from Sephora for their sale. Because obviously, I'm a VIP Rouge member, and I think they drop dead half the time when they see how many points I have. And then you couple that with when I look at my journal. How have I been feeling over the last month? I have felt overwhelmed. I have felt immense gratitude. I've felt stressed. And so the emotions of what I've experienced in all of those environments has changed within the month, within the day. And even as I stand here and I think about this presentation to all of you, you were in my mind. I know what you're all going through. You are the consumer in this situation. I need to keep you inspired. I need to keep you energized. I need to relate. I know it's 10:25, probably just had your coffee. Maybe I'm the first one, could be the second one. How do I get you to stay? Got to be contextually relevant in my fits. I'm in Miami. So it's about understanding what is the mindset of who you are ultimately trying to connect with. That is the definition of multidimensionality of all of us as humans. And so the cliches of these signals of identifying me as male, let's just say 37, are binary and aren't enough to know who I am and what I've been through and what I am going through. And if you think you can predict what I'm doing next week, I'd love to hear it, because Lord knows, I never thought I'd be at EDM festivals 10 years ago when I was still listening to Britney. So I'm evolving, and I don't even know where I'm evolving. And so to be fair, we had to do what we could do as an industry. We had to leverage what we had at our fingertips. And we didn't have the technology that really allowed us to truly start to take advantage of getting into the mindset, to leap off the page, to get into that video. And now more than ever, as you all know in this room, CTV, gaming, these are becoming immersive, deep environments that we need to be ready to support. And a mindset era allows us to do that. And we have to remember that this isn't just a technology. This is a philosophy that we need to own. And we may not have had it, technology-wise, but we do now. And it turns out that AI-driven advanced contextual technology can really help us step into that new world. These are our consumers. And these consumers are all of you. And if we want to build loyalty back, this is the outcomes we want when they connect with us. This is how I want to feel when I connect with a brand. This is what's motivating me to stay loyal. This is what I want. And so by definition, if we're going to do this, then we need to make sure our focus is on solving the matching problem. We need to first understand that mindset is fleeting. It is changing constantly, depending on the moment, the mood, and any given situation. Some of you are here a lot more alert because you didn't stay out till 1:30 in the morning at the bar than others. So you've got to know what you're dealing with. And the mindset era believes that there is a better way, more effective way to really connect. Because connecting on its own isn't enough. We need to vibe. We really need to get in there with our consumer. And as I said, this isn't just a vision. This is real right now. The new generation of AI-powered advanced contextual tech means we can look at computer vision and AI to tell us what's in a visual and what's happening. We can use natural language processing, the string of words, audio to tell us what's happening in the mood. And we can understand that in these amazing CTV video environments and soon-to-be gaming environments so that it's a human-like understanding. I'm going to show you an example. Look how young Leo is. My goodness, I'm dating. But if you've seen the movie Catch Me If You Can, that's what you're going to see, 2 clips here. It's sped up for the sake of all of you because I've watched many videos at these conferences that go too long. This is what we're doing. We're no longer just saying, what does Catch Me If You Can be alike? You're looking at AI-driven decisioning around understanding that content, looking at the mood, the keyword, the content categories, the threats at every single frame level. So if you want to start to be an advertiser to connect in a moment, now every frame, every piece of information within a video is available for you to look at and how it can make the creative message you want stand out. It allows for us to see both of those examples and know that safety isn't also binary, and that suitability of what works and doesn't work is available now in the mindset era through advanced contextual technology. And so when she's taking a good cry, watching something, experiencing something, it becomes a magical opportunity for a tissue company, a Kleenex, for example, to be able to identify that emotion that's happening and offer up a way to message that we're there for you. And it goes even further. Maybe it can also say, hey, in about 10 minutes, get ready, the waterworks are about to start. Grab your tissue now, so you're not caught off guard, because they know what you're going to go and experience. Even to the moments of joy that Kleenex can be a part of. And in the mindset era, it's not just about that picture-perfect moment of the message. We need to be making sure we're understanding the value of that. So speaking of creative, to be able to look at what you're looking at here is understanding how that creative is impacting and connecting in that moment. It's looking at, in the top one, hey, did attention spike when the people came into the frame of the ad? What was it about the character that created maybe a love or enjoyable moment that spiked to an outcome that you saw higher performance? Was it something unexpected about the creative? And to be able to do that, ascertain the information in a privacy-first, safe way in the mindset era, and then help that influence you as a brand to feel ways to connect and use it better is magic. It's lightning in a bottle. And when you put these together and you meet the moment with the right message in a way that lands, and you can deliver that at scale, you are literally creating magical moments just like this. I love Willy Wonka. I still watch it, the old one. The new one was okay. But when you watch this, it's nostalgic. what a great way for Pepsi to have shown placement there, tying it to the snacks, the fun, you're watching a movie, and what else? Not disruptive. It let me stay, it let me be in that emotion and added something maybe I wanted and continue to be on my journey of what I have chose to invest and spend my time in. And doing something like that at scale to millions of people around the world at one time, where it feels it connects, respects, and is thoughtful and feels like it was meant for me, that's magic. That's amazing. And so as we look at the future, the identity cookie era has been all about those binary labels and using that past to work to predict and influence the future. And our consumers, just like all of us, are making choices every day, and we don't even know what choice we're gonna make in a given day. And I don't know if you've seen the Barbie movie. I know it's controversial, some loved it, some hated it. I'm on the love it side. She lives in a heel, and I can relate. I'm a CEO of a tech company, but if you know me outside of here, I'm not that. It's not just my identity, but she lives in a heel. And the premise of the movie is saying, I don't want to always be in a heel. That's not always who I am. Maybe I want to choose the Birkenstock, and then maybe I want to choose the Doc Marten, and then maybe I want to run around in ballet flats because that's what I'm feeling. We cannot anticipate what our consumers can't even anticipate. And we finally have the technology to leverage this as an opportunity to meet them where they are going and let them know we're there for them. So here's the thing. The future of effective advertising is the mindset era, and it is here now. It is authentic, it is multidimensional, it is powerful, and it is a focus on building that relationship between the brand and the consumer. I wholeheartedly predict that it will unleash an era of creativity and dynamism in our industry to the likes that we have never seen before. This is where we are going, and the brands who win will be the ones that are not only ready for it, but are excited for it. So I ask all of you to come meet me there. Let's go and do this. Let's make magic happen. And let's bring back the amazingness that is advertising to each and every one of us and to all of these consumers. And let's get started. So what are we waiting for? So thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your conference.